All right, I wanted to make a quick video about some of the upgrades I did to my Honda CRF250F. It's a 2022, pretty standard trail bike. I've done a few things to it, mostly things that I've seen either in YouTube videos or over on one of the Facebook pages I follow. I just wanted to go through a few of them and tell you how happy I've been with them or not how happy I've been with them. So, obviously it's not a performance bike, it's a trail bike. If you're thinking about getting one of these and you're really looking for serious speed, obviously not your option. This is a heavy bike, absolutely fantastic for trail riding, bulletproof, perform pretty basic regular maintenance on it, and just like its predecessor, which I think is called the XR, should last forever, should have good resale value. So first and foremost, you can see that I put the Yoshimura exhaust on it. Probably did it more for looks than I did it for anything else. I don't generally just do upgrades for looks, but I loved the way this thing looked. It sounds great. It's actually a little on the loud side for my taste. Maybe I get some more performance out of it. Probably get more performance out of it if I did like the airbox upgrade and put a tuner on it. But for the most part, the 250F really gives me like all the power that I need. So that's probably the one thing I did. Then it was sort of expensive. I think it was $500 or $600. That's probably the one thing I did that was just a straight upgrade for looks. And I wasn't sure when I bought it. People said they got a lot of power out of it. I talked to Yoshi. They said that you're going to get more power out of it. They said that it's made to be used without any additional tune. That it's designed with this bike in mind and its stock settings. Again, without being able to sort of switch them back and forth really quickly, I can't tell you at this point how much more power I really get out of it. I did put some insulation on there pretty frequently, although I'm sure it's ill-advised. I have a very young child on the front of this with me, anywhere between a 1-year-old and a 4-year-old. And while they keep their feet up, it's nice to have that little bit of extra protection for little kid hands and legs, potentially. Obviously, I put the Flatland plate on the bottom. Really feel good about that. I love the plate. It's been a lifesaver out on the trails. I wish it was a little bit wider to give some more protection here. I keep pretzeling this brake lever, but you can see I've sort of brought the brake lever in a bit to try and make it so I don't keep bending it back. I keep putting off doing an upgrade to that brake lever. A lot of the ones I see just look way too far in. Obviously, I put a seat cover on here. I got this from Thrill Seekers. I found a guy online who was reviewing this bike, sort of the same way I was, and I fell in love with the seat cover that he put on this thing. I painted Honda on the side. It came with a big Thrill Seekers badge back here, which I know that they want that for branding, but I took it off. It just looked sort of silly to me. Of course, my shift lever, I bent the original one like a pretzel. I bought this Tusk unit. I think it's for a 230 or maybe a 150. I'm not sure. I had to grind the back of it to make it fit right. But it fits great. Obviously, this was like red anodized, which I never loved the red anodized stuff. So I just ground it down, but you could still see some red on it. That's as far as an upgrade goes. I don't know how much different that is than my stock one, except for the fact that this one's not bent like a pretzel. I obviously also put on hand-guards. Did not realize how important these things would be. I ride through a lot of brush. I ride through a lot of densely wooded areas. These are the Tusk D-Flex units. Really happy with them, happy with the assembly, happy with how sturdy they are. I bought it cheap. This was like $12 on eBay or Amazon or something. I did shorten my clutch lever and I ground it down. I'm really happy with it. I like to be able to have my pinky on here while I like to be able to do this with 2 fingers. So shortening that was really nice. Also, when I put these guards on, I was getting a little bit of interference right here. So I just figured, you know what, I'll cut this, I'll ground it down. I can't seem to get it in focus, but if you didn't know, you'd never be able to tell. I did, as far as electronics goes, I put on the Vapor. This is the unit by Trail Tech. I tucked it under here. This thing was probably, I don't know, like $150, $120, something like that. It went on in about an hour. Obviously, you make a coil around the spark plug that acts as your tach. You have a sensor down here, which takes the temperature at the block. And then on the front, for your odometer and speedometer, you have a sensor that goes here. And then you replace one of these OEM bolts with a magnetic one that comes in the package. Incredibly happy with the unit. I didn't love the mounting system it came with, so I ended up sort of, I don't know, you can't really see how I did it, but I ended up sort of mounting it flush down in here. But because it was covering the gas light, I ended up just pulling the gas light and relocating it over here so that, if I ever do run out of gas, that'll light up and I'll be able to notice it. The most recent upgrade I did, which was a recommendation from the dudes on one of the Facebook pages, was I upgraded to these wider pegs. I did not know, one, how important this was, and two, why it was even worth it. I was pretty much happy with the pegs that were on here. And then I got these in the mail. These are a $40 set of pegs, maybe like $35 from Amazon. And let me show you. Let me just go grab. Sorry for the messy video here. Here is the original Footpeg. Let me show you what that looks like compared to. It is a huge difference. And like one of the guys on the Facebook page, I think maybe Tim, had said, like, it's hard to explain why this makes such a big difference, but it really does. A couple of suggestions I got were for, after shipping and everything, and tax, like nearly $200 for replacement foot pegs. I definitely didn't want to spend $200 on foot pegs, especially how I was sort of struggling to see the benefit. But now that I have these installed, I'm really interested. I wonder if I'll end up at some point upgrading even these. Just taking this around the yard, and I've got about like 5 acres here, but it's a lot of wetlands, so I can't do too much driving. Huge difference, like really surprising difference. And it makes sense when you see, when you see them online, you can't tell how much bigger they are, but you have a lot more surface area to ride on. Obviously, these little threaded, I don't know, whatever they are here, these little threaded spikes really stick to the bottom of my boots really well. Very surprised what a big upgrade that has been. So overall, if you're thinking about getting a CRF250F, seriously, I cannot recommend it enough. It's been such a fantastic bike. I've put a lot of hours in one season on this thing and can't wait for it to warm up a little bit and get it back out to the farm and do some more driving.